Young and restless, Sharon targets Daniel but kills Heather. Please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up before the video starts. The Young and the Restless has us poised to believe that Sharon is going to lash out at Daniel in such a way that he or daughter Lucy is harmed, maybe even killed. But just because the plot makes sense in her warped imagination doesn't mean at all that it will yield the result that Cameron insists she wants. In fact, the show may well be setting us up for a bait and switch in which neither of the expected targets is hit. Who is then? Heather, that's who. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, she'd risk her life to save Daniel or Lucy's. And with Cameron whispering in Sharon's ear, she could easily be moved to strike a blow that, whether intentionally, kills Heather. Tragic, yes? But a whole lot of story could be spun from the lawyer's demise. For starters, Lucy could go completely off the rails, turning into the kind of teenage terror that would have scandalized even Brittany or Lauren back in the day. Reeling, Daniel could turn for comfort to Claire, thereby giving Kyle some needed competition. Plus, Young and Restless could stop having characters talk about jetting off to Portugal to see Paul, who we know has made his last appearance on the soap. What do you think? Is the show going to zag when we expect it to zig? Sound off in the comments, and on your way, check out the below photo gallery, a reminder of just how dastardly Cameron has always been. It was supposed to be a simple plan, discreet and flawless. Sharon Newman was a woman on the edge, her emotions whirling in a storm of rage and desperation. Daniel Romalotti had crossed too many lines lately, involving himself in Sharon's world when she was determined to keep certain secrets buried. She knew he was getting close to the truth about her connection to a dark, hidden chapter of her past. The problem wasn't just what Daniel knew, it was what he could do with that knowledge. Sharon's plan was clear: eliminate Daniel before he could destroy everything. A single night, one well-planned encounter at the Grand Phoenix Hotel where no one would suspect a thing. She'd invited him under the pretense of discussing their strained friendship and the emotional baggage they both carried. Sharon had always been good at reading people, good enough to know exactly how to lure him in. The night was dark and wet, the rain hammering against the windows as if warning her to reconsider. But Sharon was far beyond second thoughts. A vial of poison, easy to conceal, sat snugly in her purse. Her hands trembled briefly as she rehearsed the conversation in her mind. The stakes were too high for failure. Daniel had to go. She arrived at the hotel suite where Daniel waited, a bottle of scotch already half drained on the coffee table. He greeted her with that signature smile, unaware that she had already mapped out every move to bring their interaction to a final, irreversible close. But then, in walked Heather Stevens, Daniel's ex, unexpected and unwelcome. Heather's timing couldn't have been worse. The tension between the two women was palpable. Sharon didn't trust Heather any more than she trusted Daniel. The subtle shift in Daniel's demeanor the moment Heather arrived infuriated her, adding more fuel to Sharon's growing instability. It was like everything and everyone was conspiring to ruin her plan. The conversation turned heated quickly, spiraling from polite pleasantries into bitter accusations. Daniel stepped out for just a moment, perhaps to cool off or take a breath. But it was the moment Sharon had feared. Alone with Heather, the air between them bristling with hostility. Heather noticed the slight bulge in Sharon's purse and the way her hand hovered near it. "What are you really doing here, Sharon?" Heather asked, her voice sharp. Panic flashed across Sharon's face. Then instinct took over. In a split second, she yanked the vial from her bag and lunged toward Heather, her mind a blur of fear and rage. But the move was clumsy, too fast, too reckless. Heather reacted, grabbing Sharon's wrist mid-lunge. They struggled, bodies colliding in frantic chaos. Then it happened. The vial shattered in Sharon's grip, and the deadly liquid splashed onto Heather. Sharon gasped in horror as Heather stumbled, her eyes wide with disbelief, her breathing turning shallow. Heather collapsed to the floor, lifeless within moments. Sharon stood frozen, her heart pounding as the full weight of what she had done settled on her. She was supposed to kill Daniel, but now Heather was dead. And Daniel, who walked back in just as Heather's body fell limp, now knew everything. "Oh my God, Sharon," he whispered, staring in shock. Her world was unraveling faster than she could control, and there was no way out now.